Hi folks, I have the latest real estate numbers here. In a second, I'm going to report on what's actually happening as of just a couple of days ago. Before we get into that, a quick summary. I'm going to be talking about a steep decline in home prices, a steep decline in sales, and new listings. So across the board, everything is down. I'll show you exactly how much in a second here. However, it's not zero. Our numbers are not zero. Real estate is still happening out there. I have clients that I'm working with that we've analyzed their situation, their real estate goals, what's happening in the neighborhood, they want to buy in. And we decided it was best to put their real estate activity on pause right now. I have other clients based on the same analysis that it makes sense that they move forward, and there are some opportunities for them to be taken advantage of out there. So there is business, but it's not business as usual, and we are taking all precautions with the activity that you're going to see that I speak about. Precautions are being taken health-wise, precautions are being taken contractual-wise in the agreement of purchase and sale. We've made a lot of changes to be able to still fulfill people's real estate goals. Let's jump into the numbers. So let me explain how I'm breaking this down. Before the beginning of March, I was doing these reports monthly. But since we got into this health crisis, things are changing rapidly. So now I'm breaking them down on a weekly basis. And I've started from the first week of March, March 2 to March 8th, because this 1.5 million as the average price was the peak. For January, February, and March, prices were going up, and we expected them to continue to go up before everything changed. So I'm looking at now on a weekly basis starting the first week of March. I've analyzed it this way. I'm talking about only Toronto, because if I look at the GTA or everything sold on the Toronto MLS board, for example, it includes rural properties. It includes so many different areas that are being affected differently. So I'm trying to keep the numbers as accurate as possible and as useful to you as possible. So I'm breaking down Toronto and Vaughan, freehold and condo markets. And they are acting similar, but in many ways differently. So let's talk about Toronto freehold prices. Since the beginning of March, prices on a weekly basis have been dropping. Since the beginning of March, prices have dropped by 24.4%. That's a huge decline. I can't remember the last time in just a few short weeks that prices have dropped that quickly. We sold 78 units, so we did sell a little bit more than a week before, but remember the week before was Easter weekend. And keep in mind, last year the Easter weekend was actually a week later, which is the weekend we're in now. Out of these 78 properties that were sold, 36 were sold at list price or more. So very close to half of those properties. By selling at list price or more, here's where I feel I got to explain a little bit more about kind of behind the scenes. It doesn't necessarily mean a property that's sold over asking actually sold over market value. There's a big difference there. Many of these sellers could be feeling the pressure. If a seller believes prices are going to continue to go down, they might want to get their property sold quicker and reduce their list price below market to create a lot of action, and then it can sell quickly. Maybe they've got concerns of this health crisis and they don't want to be on the market a long time. So they'll list below market, hoping for a quick sale on an offer date. So I'm not saying that's the case in every one, but this is kind of how we got to look at some of these numbers. There are many moving parts now to how to interpret and what's affecting average sold prices. Another thing that's affecting average sold price. In this week here, week ending April 19th, there was only 4 properties that sold over $2 million. At the beginning of March, there was 60 properties that sold over $2 million, only 4 properties that sold over $2 million. That affects average sold price in a big way. So Maybe the people with the more expensive homes are in a different financial position and they've come off the market. Maybe the people buying these properties that are 2 million, 3 million, and 4 million, maybe their financial future is a little bit uncertain, so they've decided not to purchase, so we're seeing a lot less sales of those properties. We would need to look at the particular situation to really determine what's affecting the average sold price. But in general, steep decline over 24%. Looking at average sold price for the Toronto area compared to last year, now the orange are 2020 prices, the blue 2019 prices. Average sold price is down by 8.5%. Units sold, we did 337 freehold properties last year over this week. This year we sold only 78, a fraction, a smidgen of what was being sold last year. So activity in sales way down. New listings is 175 new listings. So people are coming onto the market looking to get their homes sold, and there are buyers still buying. It's just activity's way lower. Looking at Vaughan, we see a similar pattern. Now, again, I'm just talking about freehold. March, the first week of March, that was the peak. We expected prices to be going up. Instead, we have the reverse. And since the beginning of March, when we compare this number to the average of 955,000 here for this week ending April 19, prices are down over 22%. Of these, only 11 homes were sold. 5 of them, so almost half, sold at list price or more. The reason I'm putting this in there is because if you're in a position to buy, I don't want you to see this and say, okay, prices are down 22%, so let me see what the list price is and just drop the price down. It depends on the pricing strategy. If they've priced it low on purpose for a quick sale, you might find yourself in a competitive situation of bidding for that home. So that's something that would have to be looked at. When we compare our Vaughan freehold prices to last year, prices are down for the same week 12.5%. 11 units sold this year, but last year we did 81, way less activity, and we had 59 new Vaughan freehold listings come on the market last week. Let's look at the condo market. It's slightly a different picture. Yes, we're still declining, but not to the same capacity as the freehold market. Prices are down since the beginning of March, just under 10%. 9.8% prices are down, and we actually sold more units than we did the previous week. Compared to last year, prices are exactly where they were basically. So there's no difference in price, and in fact, for 3 weeks in a row, prices of condos in Toronto, the average sold price has actually been going up for 3 weeks in a row. I don't think anybody expected that. What we're seeing is condos selling over $1 million. That activity, way down. This year we sold, for this week, we sold only 2 condos over $1 million, but same time last year we sold 26 condos. Now, we're looking at 63 sales versus 371 sales same period last year. Now look at the new listings. For Toronto, 284 new condo listings. Why are so many condos coming onto the market? Because to me this is a big number compared. Oh, it's lower than last year, but it's not as low as, say, the sales were compared to last year's sales. So one analogy could be there's lots and lots of condos that were purchased as investments. The Airbnb business, for example. That business now is zero. And we're not sure how that business is going to be after this health crisis is over. So it could be a lot of condo owners selling their investment condo, as an example. When we look at Vaughan condos, same thing. Compared to first week of March to now, prices are down 9.8%. But compared to last year, and we took a big jump from the previous week to this week, average sold price is where it was before. We only sold 5 last week, and new listings, we've got 13 new condo listings in Vaughan. So there is activity happening. Everything is lower. Does that mean it's a great time to buy or it's a great time to sell? Hey, you know what? I would have to analyze your situation, your goals, your plans to decide what makes sense for you and your family. But there are opportunities out there, and things have a way of once you know the reality, you'll make a decision that's best for you and your family. Let me know if you have questions. I'm happy to answer. Subscribe below. Leave your comments below as to what you feel is happening out there or with the report I just gave you. My name is Santo Sessa with Remax Premier. Be safe.